Welcome back to Casual Collectors. I'm Steelwolf.
And Spider Kid.
And today we're bringing you a review of the zombie Captain America from the Disney Plus show, What If?
So we got our Captain America at GameStop for the price of $22.99. And currently he's sold out on the online store. But keep checking because you will find him eventually with the other What If figures. And please be advised that if you're going to buy this figure from third-party retail stores, you're going to pay a lot more than retail price.
Enough with the numbers. Let's go ahead and take a closer look, but not too close because he does bite, at our zombie Captain America box.
So taking a closer look at the box, we can see the Marvel Legends series logo, the What If logo, and the title for Zombie Cap. If we go to the side, you can see a nice picture of Cap, and another picture look like he's about to kill somebody. And you can see the same picture on this side. And if we look, we can see the Watcher that's watching everybody, and not much in the bottom.
Zombie Cap is getting restless, so let's go ahead and break him out of this packaging and take a closer look at his accessories.
So starting off with some accessories, you can see the only one he has is just his shield. And overall, we can see the details are like these purple like stains, symbolizing blood. And if we look in the back, it thankfully does not have that peg system, but instead it's something more movie, comic, and show-like. And for some comparisons, we have the Stan Lee shield. And you can see from comparison, they're both around the same size. And you also have the thing on the back. Another comparison would be the John Walker shield, which is slightly more smaller than the What If one. And if you look at the back, it has that system. And one more comparison would be the comic book shield. And now it's not easy to, or it's not hard to tell that it's small, but it also has that peg system. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the details.
Let's start with his head here. And as you can see, right away we got that nice silver paint on the A and on the little wings on the side of the helmet. On the top here, we got a nice little sculpted lines there for the helmet. Looks good. And now you can see the sculpting of the helmet there. The lines goes all the way around there. Looking really clean. Back to the front of the head here, we have his eyes in a white kind of glaze there, which looks really good. And he actually doesn't have a nose. Looks like the nose has been either torn off, bitten off, who knows. But we can actually see underneath the nose there that there's this little flesh tone there, and that's pretty cool for detail. Going down here into the mouth, we can see the gums there painted, and we can also see sculpt on the individual teeth, as well as sculpt there in the back of the throat. We can see that the tongue is sculpted as well, which is nice. And we got these cool little like see-through details there on the cheek. That is just so awesome there. There's also some more little sculpting there of the side of the muscles of the face there. On the chin, we have some blood dripping down, and they did use a purplish color for the blood. Same thing on this side. We got that see-through cheek. We have some more additional sculpting of the muscles there on the neck, as well as we have that blood that runs down the neck, but you can see some of that sculpting there on the neck. That looks great. And now going back this way to the side, more of that sculpt. On the back of the neck there, we have part of the vertebrae. That's pretty awesome. All sculpted there. And the cool thing too is that his chin strap is actually loose, like it came off. But that just gives it a nice cool effect. Very nice. Going further down here to the chest, we have all the cool sculpting of the armor there. That's all sculpted. The star here is sculpted with that nice silver paint. Kind of like a darker silver though, almost metallic, like a dark gunmetal. And then right away here we have on the rib cage, oh, that just looks so cool. It's sculpted individually there with some more of that purple paint there. We have these shield straps. The buckles, I think they could have been painted in silver, but they weren't. It's just, you know, brown, but it still looks so cool. Going to the back here, we have also the rest of the shield straps there, which look amazing. Nice sculpted detail there. And what we have kind of like a matte brown here, and here is more like a shiny brown. We also see part of the back of the rib cage, which looks really good, really good. And then we get towards the bottom of the torso here, we have all this part of the uniform just kind of torn off. And you can see that they just actually sculpted all this stuff, which looks really good. Going to the side here of the side of the uniform. Looking good there all the way around to the chest. Looks good. Those shield straps came in really nice. Let's go down to the arms here. So you can see the shoulder pads there, looks nice and clean. And then down here towards the forearm, we get some more of the uniform that's just kind of been torn off. And we get that lovely zombie kind of tone for the flesh, that kind of greenish, bluish kind of, tone to symbolize that the flesh is rotten and whatnot. But that looks great. You can see muscles there on the forearms, and right here looks like a little chunk has been torn out. That looks great. We get some blood effects there on the thumb, more of that purple. The gloves painted on there very nicely. We got some sculpt on the glove. Another tear right there. Nice sculpt on the gloves throughout. Even though ours has a little bit of mispaint right there on the hand, but that's not a big deal. Just kind of love this sculpting of how the suit has been torn. That looks great. And the other arm, we actually don't have, the sleeve is completely gone. Would have been nicer if there was some tears right here, but it still looks good. We got more of this blood purple there, and that greenish, grayish skin tone to symbolize the decaying flesh. The hands look good, some sculpt on the hands. Looks really good. Down to the ab area here, we have more of now like a faded, almost yellowish, white on this, where it's supposed to be white, but now it's more yellowish and faded, and you got some more of that blood spatter right there. Looks really good the way they did this. It doesn't follow through all the way to the back, but that's pretty accurate though, the way it goes. Down to his belt. You can see the belt has a little bit of like a goldish brownish color, and it's shiny. Looks metallic. The rest of the belt here is a nice brown with sculpted pockets and stuff like that. Little pouches all the way throughout the belt. And this is America's rotten butt, or should we say zombie butt. Some little indent right there. Sculpting on the lines here looks great. Let's go down to the thighs. I mean, just take a look at that. Jeez, that just looks so good. Look at that. You can see right through there. Big old chunk of his thigh just gone. I mean, this is going to be great for pictures. You can put weapons in there. Oh man, that looks really good, really good. Got that flesh tone with more of the tearing of the suit. Looks good. Other thigh, same thing. Not as big of a chunk, but this one's cool because you can see part of his bone there from the femur. I mean, that looks so cool. You can see all of that detail. This is just really amazing. That's more of the thigh right here in the bone. That looks good. Absolutely amazing detail on this. More of that purplish color there for the blood. And here's the back of the thighs. Just looks really good. I mean, this would look good with like blades, knives, swords just stuck right in there. That's going to look so cool for pictures. Alright, down to the boot here. Looks pretty normal, pretty typical, Captain America boot. Nothing crazy about it. Got treads in the bottom, peg hole. But now this side, I mean, we got that torn up uniform again. And then this is sculpted, so it's like an additional little plastic that they put on there, as you can see. And then they actually have the zombie leg here. Oh, that looks really good. There you can even see the ankle right there. Looks really, really good. There's the toes, the zombie toes. Peg hole. There's the top of the foot. Nice sculpting throughout. Amazing detail. This is a must pick up right here for this guy. This guy, it's just absolutely awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to articulation. For articulation here, let's start with the head. He can turn left, he can turn right. No problem there. Completely around. He can look up about that much. He can look down about that much. He's got some head tilt, which looks really good for those zombie pics. Looks really good. That's about as far as he goes. And let's see, does he have that quagmire motion of the head? Not so much. Not so much. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the arms here. So for the arms, they move up just about that much. And they go to a complete 360 all the way around. He does have a bicep swivel. His hands here have another, they can turn completely like this, and they hinge back and forth. We have double jointed elbows. Chest area here, he has an ab crunch, which can go about forward just about that much. Back, about that much. And he actually does have a little bit of side to side here, as you can see. And he also swivels here on the waist. Now for legs, he can actually kick out just about that much, and back not very much here, to about as much as he goes back. He has a upper thigh cut right here, and he has no boot swivel on this leg. However, on this leg he actually does have a boot swivel. Now as for the joints on the knees here, he does have double jointed knees. For the foot here, he does have ankle pivot, and his foot can come up about that much and down pretty damn good. And he can do splits just about this much, so that's pretty good. And that wraps it up for articulation. So yeah, Zombie Cap doesn't really come with much accessories, just that shield. I love the shield. However, I really wish that for that shield we would have got more of a noticeable blood splatter or blood color on there, because it's there, but you can barely really see it. Now, I do wish though for actual accessories they could have included maybe, you know, some gun effects, or maybe they could have included like an arm or a leg that he can be chomping on. You know, I think that would have been really cool. Well, other than that though, I don't really know what else they could have really given him. What do you think, Spider Kid? What do you think should have came with him?
Well, honestly, I think they should have given us an option to remove the torso, to have another one which would just be cut, basically to just recreate that scene when Bucky throws a shield at him.
Oh, okay, so kind of like when they did Cannonball, where they released him without legs, and then they released the legs later, so you can kind of just pull the whole like lower body off, right? So it kind of looks like he was cut in half. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be really, really cool.
So another accessory I'd like to see is Scott Lang's head in that jar, and since the Zombie Hunter Spidey already comes with the cape, if you wanted to pose him with that, they should have given us the head to put on the cape.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it would have been so easy for them to just give us the little Scott Lang head sculpt in a jar. That way we could just port the cape on there. That would have been so cool. And, you know, let's just say they don't want to give us another head sculpt, and they should have gave us that little glass jar case that held Scott Lang's head. That way, if you already had an Ant-Man, a previous Ant-Man, with a Scott Lang head, you just put him in there. Yeah, I mean, I really wish they would have gave us that. Other than accessories, I feel that, you know, with only releasing Zombie Cap in the wave, and after we saw so many other Marvel zombies in the show, I really wish they would have just gave us an entire wave of the Marvel zombies. Like, for example, we had, besides Cap, we had Wanda.
Doctor Strange.
We also had Wong.
Iron Man.
Thanos.
Wasp.
Yeah, you know, and that's pretty much a whole entire wave right there. And, you know, they couldn't even gone so far to have given us a Build-A-Figure. I mean, they could have given us a giant Wasp, or they could have gave us Thanos as a Build-A-Figure. You know, I think that would have been so cool if they would have done that. Now, just in case you didn't know, this isn't the first time that Marvel had done a toy line of these zombie figures. Actually, Marvel Select had done a line of the Marvel zombies that were based off the original comics. And they did a Spider-Man,
Hulk, Captain America, Magneto, and Sabretooth.
Yeah, and then those guys came with these really cool bases, and it basically was Silver Surfer's body that was torn apart. Each character had a body part. So, for example, Hulk had Silver Surfer's head, you know?
Only 3 of them came with the base, but the Magneto and Saratooth came with different bases.
Yep, there you go. And to measure up Zombie Cap here, he stands a little bit underneath the 6.5 mark. For some comparisons here, we have Zombie Cap next to your John F. Walker from the Disney Plus show, and we also have the Zombie Cap next to the Endgame Captain America. For one more comparison here, we have the Zombie Cap next to the comic book Captain America. Alright, so for Spider Kid's Custom Corner, let's see what he has for us today.
Okay, so the first one would be to make the shield a little bit more like red blooder, since it's mostly just purple than red. And I would like to see it at least a little bit more redder, so that's another way to customize it, to make it more realistic kind of way.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely would have needed that brighter red blood. You know, I understand that the shield itself has the red, but maybe a brighter color, you know, would have worked better than the purple there.
And another one would be to repaint Cap to look like the same one from the comic, to give it that more comic-like look.
And that'll do it for Spider Kid's Custom Corner. So final thoughts on Zombie Cap. He is absolutely amazing. All that sculpted detail is just insanely cool. The blood, the bones, the flesh, the ripped out parts. All that is so, so cool. Yeah, he could have had more accessories, maybe some body parts or something, you know. But all in all, he just looks outstanding. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a rating of legendary. And again, for all the reasons that I mentioned and more, I mean, the paint, the colors, I mean, he has that what if look, like he just came out of the show, and he works so well with other pictures of heroes. You know, you could do the whole zombie universe just with this guy, you know, bunch of cool pictures. You can do Walking Dead pictures. He's just gonna look so, so cool.
I agree with that too. I'll give it a rating of legendary. Too, I think the paint job, the cool like holes in him, the colors, they're pretty good, and I like how it's all like pinless, and I like how it's not stiff joints and it's not loose joints. It's like in the middle, and I do like how the mouth is like detailed inside, and I can go on and on, but
so that's gonna do it for our review on the What If show Zombie Captain America. So remember, guys, continue collecting, and as always, stay casual.